What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle tonight. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I'm here with Dan Loya. Dan, Thursday night football does not disappoint. Let's just say that.
Another great game, man. Another third week in a row, the underdog has won outright. It's ridiculous, man. These games, you just never know. And divisional opponents, man, just throw the records out the window, throw the film out the window. You just never know what's going to happen with these games.
It's absolutely crazy. And tonight, between the Bengals and the Steelers, Dan, it was the Unk Bowl. Two quarterbacks, 40 years and older. Uh, Crazy game. What were your thoughts initially from this game overall?
Well, initially, it was all right. It played out. The first quarter played out like we all expected, and then the Bengals scored 20 unanswered, and the Steelers defense just looked like a completely different team out there.
Yeah.
So the signs were there. The signs were there this week. Tomlin coming into the game, he was 0 and 6. Divisional Thursday night road games. The signs were there. Overall, two for 8. So the signs were there. I didn't think this Bengals team would get a stop. I'll tell you what. Aaron Rodgers' interception in the first or second quarter when he threw to double coverage was really bad, and that just gave the
Yeah.
Bengals life. And yeah, it's crazy. But hey, takeaway, Flacco's elite. Years ago, we always had that question, like in 2012, 2013, is Flacco elite? He answered the bell. He's elite. Ridiculous. 10 days he's on this team. He throws for 3 touchdowns tonight. Feeds Jamar Chase. No words, man. He's awesome.
I mean, he's only been in the system for 10 days now, and he absolutely put together this performance here. So that was absolutely electric from what we saw from him in this one. I mean, looking at it right now, 31 of 47, 65% completion percentage, 342 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, we talked about the yardage they've given up this year, but their pass rush overall in general has been really good this season. And their takeaways was a big one. So for this Bengals offense to walk away, I'm not sure how many times Flacco got sacked, but it wasn't many, maybe 0 times.
Twice.
I'm gonna look
Twice,
one,
twice.
2 times overall. Zero
Yeah.
turnovers, though, is the big one for me. I think that what Flacco does that even Joe Burrow doesn't do that well is he gets the ball out of his hands. He doesn't put it up to the
He's quick.
Cincinnati Bengals offensive line to make plays. It's basically Joe Flacco's reading the defense, the ball's getting out there. And that's why I think he works really well in the system is he's out of shotgun. He knows what he's going to throw a majority of the time before pre-snap. And he has two elite receivers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Chase today, 161 yards, a touchdown. T. Higgins, 96 yards and a touchdown. And the one guy who deserves some flowers is Chase Brown, a player that was averaging 2 yards
Yeah.
per carry entering this one, 11 carries for 108 yards. The last 2 weeks, he's been 20 total carries for 150 rushing yards. That's pretty good numbers. And if Joe Flacco continues to produce like he has and keep defenses on the heels, I think Chase Brown, his play is going to be much better going forward here and definitely showed out in this one. A guy that's been getting a lot of slack for sure. This Bengals team, I don't think they're going to be good by any means. Their defense is absolutely abysmal. We saw that tonight, but their offense can be frisky with Joe Flacco. I think that they're going to be a lot more competitive than they have been. They're not necessarily a streaming defense target in fantasy football anymore, but they are a very, very flashy offense. And I think if you're worried about Bengals players going forward in fantasy football, I'm going to have to tell you that everything's going to be okay. This team is going to be better with Joe Flacco. They have a good system that works for him. Then on Pittsburgh's side of stuff, this was we talked about it, yesterday. This was as must win of a game as it could come for a team that needed it with their second half schedule. The Ravens getting their bye week, they're going to get healthier. Dan, what are your thoughts on Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's just the signs were there. It's still hard to believe that they lost this game. Aaron, the score was 10-0, and it seemed like Aaron was really comfortable behind the line of scrimmage the begin the game, like first, second quarter. He just had no fear of that pass rush. And then even the fans, I don't know if it was the Amazon feed, but it seemed like it was real quiet. The Steelers were up only 10-0. It just like
It's
the
not it's
fans
not
gave up.
easy to cheer for a defense that allows a touchdown every other
Okay,
drive.
is that why? I was just shocked. I was like,
That's
okay,
that's
you're in the
my
second
that's my
quarter.
thought process behind it.
Okay, yeah, it was just surprising, and yeah, it's just still just the surprising thing, just like you mentioned, was Chase Brown. he had a season high 108 rushing yards. Like, where did that come from? Like, out of nowhere, and the Steelers just couldn't stop a nosebleed tonight, only 2 sacks. Coming into this game, the Steelers had 5 plus sacks, 3 weeks in a row. The past 2 weeks, they had 6 sacks. Just no pass rush tonight, nobody can make a play, and that's how the Bengals put up 33 points. Jamar Chase, 23 targets. The corners could not cover anybody tonight. It's just a terrible loss, terrible road loss for the Steelers, man.
Dude, Jalen Ramsey looked horrible tonight. He had no chance against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He got picked on the entire night. Joey Porter was okay, still got
Everybody
picked
did,
on.
yeah.
Darius Slay, not the same player. This is the exact same Steelers team we've seen over the last 5, 6 seasons since Ben Roethlisberger retired, is that they win a lot of games. They're gonna win 9 to 10 games, but they're not competitive against good football teams. They faced an offense today that was firing on all cylinders. This defense stood no chance. TJ Watt was not enough for this team to produce, and offensively, they had a really good day against a very bad defense, but it was key turnovers and big situations and not having enough explosive playmakers in this offense to overcome another offense having a great day. And that's the same story with Pittsburgh. And this is why I'm still taking Baltimore to win this division, is because the Steelers are just not a great football team. They have a bunch of old veterans on the defensive side of the ball. And I do think that despite their early advantage in the division, the Ravens are still the better team. They're going to be healthy coming out of this bye week. They're going to have more players available than they've had. And we saw this offense for the Baltimore Ravens be elite until they faced the Kansas City Chiefs, who have their number. Then they suffered more injuries, and then now we got the Cooper Rush show. So I think people are overlooking Baltimore. I think people are overestimating Pittsburgh. And I mean, Jalen Warren had his best game of the season, 7.9 yards per
Yeah, he
carry
looked
in this
great.
one,
Yeah.
and they still lost. And their tight ends, great performance as well. And I think Aaron Rodgers has looked really good this season, but the plays that they were successful on, these underneath quick passes, the teams in the AFC that they need to beat in the playoffs are going to absolutely dominate this offense. I am very worried that the Pittsburgh Steelers started the season too hot, and they are not going to be able to follow up their performance the rest of the season because they are not a talented group. They have a bunch of veterans that are not very good. And if they don't add another playmaker at wide receiver, this
Yeah.
offense is not going to be good enough to compete in the second half. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's that's why they're in the market. We hear the rumors this week that they're looking for a receiver, and this is exactly why. DK only had 3 receptions, 50 yards, and they need another guy out wide to take some pressure off this team. Because Fryermuth had 4 receptions, 108 yards tonight. So he had a
He had
breakout
5 for
game.
111 and 2 touchdowns, like,
Okay, there you go.
best game
Yeah,
in
so
years.
yeah, shout out. And then also Joe, I was talking to Joe this week from Blitz. He predicted this, so shout out Joe. He called this breakout from Fryermuth. Then Warren was another guy to lead him, 4 receptions, 31 yards. Yeah, they need another guy out wide, but I think the main thing tonight is just it's so surprising how bad this defense looked on a short week. And the signs were there again, but it's still a shock to see this team play like this. Just
Yeah,
awful defense tonight. Yeah.
100%. Answering Trey in the chat here, Dan, what's your
What's
thought
up,
about the
dude?
Seattle Seahawks this year against the Arizona Cardinals in your division? Do you think they have a chance in the NFC West?
Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I think they're a Super Bowl team, man. They're legit. They're legit. Did you see what they did to Trevor Lawrence last week? They're great on the road. Mike McDonald improved to 10-1 on the road this year. So yeah, I believe in that defense. And guess what? They weren't even healthy last week. They're gonna get their
No.
guys back. Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon. They're getting some secondary guys back, and they're only gonna get better, which is scary. So I think we're gonna preview Monday night later this week, and but sneak peek, I'm picking the Seahawks just to let you know. So they,
Mm.
they're gonna go on a rocket ship here. They can take over the NFC West.
Yeah, they really could. I think that the Seahawks definitely have a good chance at winning that division, especially, we don't know what's going on with Puka Nakua this week. It looks like he might miss. This could be a trap game for the Rams overseas. The 49ers can't catch a break. Once again, a ton of injuries. And
Yeah,
despite the 49ers' easy schedule, like the Seahawks are just the better team right now. They're going to get healthier in defense. I think the biggest frustration with me in the Seattle Seahawks is that Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind right now against a weaker start to the season. They need to get Kenneth Walker more involved. The amount of carries that Zach Charbonnet has to open this season is kind of holding this offense back from even being better than they have been to start the year. So if they're able to unlock Kenneth Walker even more, JSN's an elite player, and I know they don't
yeah,
necessarily have a number two behind him right now that's consistently producing, but when you have a guy like JSN paired with Sam Darnold and what Clint Kubiak is doing on the offensive side of the ball with an elite defensive coach and Mike McDonald, like everything is clicking for this Seattle Seahawks team. I'm not sure I'm taking them over the Rams just yet because I think the Rams have more of a championship DNA in them and they still have an incredible defense. And when they are healthy, they are the better team. But the Seahawks are no joke this year. And I do think that they're a team that could surprise people in the playoffs, almost like the Commanders did last year. Because if this defense is healthy, they're going to give a lot of teams problems. And it seems like in the NFC right now, even more than the AFC, it seems like we're not really sure who a top tier contender is. I know Philadelphia is going through it right now. Tampa Bay is really good. Detroit is coming off a tough loss, but they seem really good. I think teams like Seattle, Los Angeles, who have been down over the past few seasons, could be teams that make some noise. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we see an NFC West championship game between two teams in that division. I think the margin in the AFC is bigger between the top teams than it is in the NFC, where it feels like some of these teams have these glaring weaknesses that might not be able to overcome as much as a quarterback would in the AFC in a big time game. So I think that as far as the Seahawks go, very, very good
Sky's the
chance that they
limit for
win a
them, man.
playoff game. What do you say?
The sky's the limit for them, man. They can
It
do
really,
whatever
it
they want.
really is. But hey, let's close this talk up real quick. AFC North, right? The Cincinnati Bengals moved to 3-4. And I know we talked about the Steelers and how we're worried about this team long term. Does Cincinnati have a chance in this division at all?
Man, I don't think so because they can't stop anybody. But
Yeah.
their offense is going to be frisky, like you said. Joe Flacco, he's going to be able to move the ball. He's not he doesn't care about pressure around him. He's going to be able to throw to these receivers. So they're going to put up a lot of points. It's going to be like a college Big 12 team. They'll put up 30, but they'll give up 34. And tonight they only gave up 31. So they're going to be a fun team to watch on Red Zone for everybody else the rest of the season. But I don't think they're going to win the division.
Yeah, I think actually this might be the worst thing for the Bengals long term is they'll probably wind up going like 7-10, maybe 8-9, and then their draft position is not that good next year. And I actually tweeted out mid game. I'm like, dude, the Bengals, it's not the worst thing with Burrow's injury because they could actually draft at a high position and replenish this roster. They might be drafted in the middle of the draft next year, and it might not actually be worth it with Burrow's injury, and they're going to have to hit on some of these harder picks.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna because there was a lot of talk this week about trading Hendrickson. So I
Yeah.
wonder if that stops now. I wonder if they keep him now and they say, hey, let's try to compete the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it seems like they're trying to go with the compete direction,
Yeah.
especially with the Flacco move in general. I mean, Browning was Browning, but they're trying to go
Hmm.
towards a compete direction as much as I'd like to see Trey Hendrickson potentially go to a team like even the Bears or a team that needs an edge rusher that could use him this
Yeah.
year. I think they'll wind up holding on to him, and then we'll see what happens with that saga in the offseason. I'll just say this, though, like, the Bengals have the least talented defense in the NFL, and DJ Turner is the lone bright spot on that defense. He's been really
Yeah. What a
good this
great
year.
play. That
What
was
a
an
great play.
awesome
That's the best
interception, man.
interception we've seen this year. I mean, that was an elite taking that from DK Metcalf too,
Yeah,
6'4" guy. Like that he's
cra-
got that dog in him. Let's just say that. He's got that dog
yeah.
in him at cornerback. He's been playing really good. If they can start adding some more talent around him on the defensive side of the ball, that'll be helpful. But it's going to take maybe a draft or two, and they don't necessarily have a ton of cap space to maneuver in free agency. So we will see from Cincinnati, but I have them missing the playoffs. I do think they'll wind up getting to probably 7 or 8 wins this season. They have a pretty favorable schedule. Their toughest opponents, they got the Ravens twice, and they do have the Bills and the Patriots on there. But besides that, like there's a lot of winnable games on this schedule for them that they could wind up winning 7 games. So definitely interesting to see what happens. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this Thursday night
Yeah.
football reaction episode of the Blitz Angle. Drop a
Shout out to the
comment down
chat.
below. Yeah,
Thanks for
drop a
tuning
comment
in.
down below. Are the Steelers beyond cooked for the rest of the year in this division? Hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports media content. And me and Dan, we'll catch you guys next time.